Hi Sohini, welcome to Her Voice.
Hi Pallavi, thank you.
So glad to have you here today on our Her Voice. I know you from a while, but this is the chance I got to know you behind the scene, that how the brand Sohini Shah works and how you take care of your entire journey from working closely with the clients, and how do your mind and your perspective work behind all the meal plans and all the diets you make. So your brand name is Sohini Shah, right? Why have you not opted for something apart from this? Like, you made your brand your name, right? There are many dietitians or many nutritionists, or there are many people I've seen in the market who has picked up a different forms to represent their brand. So what was your thought behind this whole process?
I think people know me as a consultant, and I have been counseling since the last 14 years in Ahmedabad. And I feel that people associate with me. So I felt that it was better to just use my name rather than um, designing or even doing another name for my brand.
That's really amazing, and it's very relatable also. When you know the brand associate with the name, it's a very relatable, and it makes more of understanding of a particular brand and their presence make more familiar for the people who engage to the brand.
So now I'm the brand name that I use is Sohini Shah Health Design.
Okay.
So basically, it means that I help you design your health.
Okay.
And that is what I thought that people can relate to, which is why I use, and people associate me with helping them design their health. So I think that is why I've used the name Sohini Shah.
Sohini Shah. And I really like the way you have put down you're designing the health. This is something which is very relatable to the people as well, because see, it's a part of an art. If you see, like, you see the nutrition, you see the part of the meal which you're consuming is what you are. It says, right, what you eat, what you are. So when you're designing someone's health, people do a lot of things on how they wear, how they look, and how they talk. This is something about designing their meal plans, which is a beautiful part of their whole journey, and it is make more wholesome to a person. And I think that's what you are trying to engage, and understanding the people's concept from their way to your brand.
Right, because it's very individual, right? Everyone has a different lifestyle, everyone lives differently, eats differently, has different likes and dislikes, has different medical conditions. So everything is factored into the meal plan that I suggest, and everything, the focus of everything would be their health at the end of the day. So I think that is why Sohini Shah Health Design.
Yeah, perfectly. The Sohini Shah Health Design. This is what truly remarkable to know about the whole journey which you have just explained, and what your the whole behind the thing thoughts over which you have related to your brand. And it is, I think this is amazing to know. So now what do you think, Sohini? There are modern women's, like, there are many women's out there which carry a lot of emotional hunger than the actual physical hunger they have. When they come up to you, first of all, how do you identify those people, and how do you work for them?
I have always believed that if a woman is able to take care of herself physically and emotionally, she is not only able to get fitter but also happier. I feel that a woman is the backbone of every household. So if she is fit and healthy, it reflects the health of others in the family. And I feel that modern women definitely are able to bridge that bridge the association between emotional hunger and physical hunger. They are able to identify what is good for their health and body. And I don't think that they are emotionally more hungry than physically hungry.
Yes, that's truly said what you said about it. But I've seen many of the women also get, they're not understanding. They're eating up a lot of junks, and they're having a guilt later. So they're not understanding this is the hunger, this is an actual hunger, or this is my guilt which is leading me to. Somebody has the issues with their own body, or somebody's having something going in their family, or they have some issues going on, but they're not able to identify. So it's not easier for every woman to identify what's actually going in my mind. So those people tend to eat all those junk and they feel the guilt later. So I hope there are many people come up to you for those kind of things, that, oh, I was this and I had it, a big pizza because I was watching Netflix or something. And you know that this is not a physical hunger because you already have planned your meal according to it. So what is this all about? So how do you counsel those people?
So as we grow and as we, over the years, we have all formed associations with food. Certain associations which are especially related to indulgent foods. Indulgent foods are heavier in calories and fat, but they're also associated with comfort as well as guilt. And if you look at it, like when women come to me and they're not able to identify why they ate a certain pizza, because I help them identify that they ate it out of stress or there was an emotional trigger behind it. When we are able to identify that, I help people understand that food is actually for nourishment and not really for taste. I help them understand that, food needs to be there for giving the body the nutrients it needs. As soon as they're able to identify the difference between and understand the cues, why they are eating out of stress, why they're emotionally eating. And these associations are hard to break because we've attached that value through these years. So once we are able to identify and they're able to put themselves in that situation where they're able to uplift themselves from that situation and resist eating at eating when they're emotionally stressed, they're able to overcome the guilt eating.
Yeah.
And I feel that people should never eat out of guilt. Eating is supposed to be a very nourishing and happy activity, and eating is extremely important. Eating right is extremely important because we eat 3 to 4 times a day. So if we always attach a value of guilt with it, we are not going to be happy. And as I said, I think where people come to me and I counsel them into how they should be eating right, as soon as they form a good eating habit or good eating pattern, they're well nourished and the chances of eating wrong or eating out of guilt are reduced and they understand. So as soon as a good positive behavior starts reflecting in your day-to-day activities, you start feeling better. You have a better control of your mind, and basically your mind dictates how the body behaves. So I feel that I help women understand what they actually need in terms of nutrition, and they're able to identify that they're eating out of guilt or they're just eating emotionally, and I'm able to help them.
I think the concept which you fit in to them is about the mindful eating. If I just have to quote all this in one word, then it's a mindful eating.
Absolutely.
That what you put the concept forward for them. And that's not just for the currently where what purpose they are. It's the sustainable lifestyle change which you bring in their life. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So the other thing which I'm really curious to know about, the three main changes a busy women should put up into their life that makes their life more, it's a busy schedule, right? You're running, you are here, you are there, you are a mother, you are an entrepreneur, you are a social person. There's so many duties a female take care of. So what are the 3 changes that a woman should bring in their life which makes them more energetic during the day?
That's a good question. These 3 changes that help a woman feel more energetic during the day not necessarily have to do with food and nutrition. I think the first one would be sleep and rest. I think sleep is the most underrated energy booster. As I mentioned earlier, women go through hormonal shifts from time to time. All these shifts and changes are also taking place at night when we are sleeping. So I think for every woman, A good 7 to 8 hours of a good quality sleep is important to rejuvenate, recuperate, and recover for the next day. The second one would be iron and protein. I see a lot of women, especially vegetarian women, who anyways don't have a good diet. Their iron consumption is very low. So when your iron consumption is low, when your sources are limited, you definitely go low with your iron consumption, and that makes you feel tired, that makes you have muscle cramps, and you don't even know why you feel tired. As soon as your iron store is better, as soon as your protein intake is better, you feel energetic throughout the day. So I think the second one would be a good protein rich diet, which keeps you fuller, which keeps you satisfied, and which keeps you energetic through the day. So protein and iron. And I think the third one would be exercise. I think exercise is something that every individual, everybody needs, no matter what age.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. Exercise is the only way that your body knows how to channelize the energy we consume through food.
Right.
So exercise is something that keeps you fit, that keeps you going, that, it helps release endorphins, which are the good hormones. It helps to, fight your stress, or it helps to combat your stress. So I think that's the third. And I think exercise is unique because it utilizes your energy, but it still makes you feel energetic. So I think that's the third one.
That's a wonderful equation, how the exercise bring it. And I also feel somehow it brings a lot of confidence in women.
Absolutely.
Like even though you are working on some goals you have in your life, but still you started from your journey with your exercise, you feel that, oh, I'm shaping, I'm toning, and I'm right there where I wanted to be. You feel like your journey has just started.
Right.
So I think these three things which you have mentioned is absolutely needed for anyone with a busy life who want to bring an energy back to their life.
Sure.
And that is an amazing way which you have just explained us to. I've also seen, Sohini, many women tied up with a lot of guilt, right? About their emotional relation with food, right? If I'll say, I have seen women in my circle, they don't sit on the table to eat. The family eating is happening. They're just roaming around here and there. They're just not coming near to the food, eat, And I feel everyone is around. Let's sit on the table and eat. But I see there is some emotional relation they have with the food, which is not making them to eat certain kind of food, even though it's a festival. There are some ways, there are some times wherein we can be eased down, but they are not able to manage that emotional relationship. So how do you understand that, these are the guilts, right? These are the parameters. Oh, you are traveling. Oh, it's a festive time. Oh, this is going to be somebody in your family. It's a wedding time. It's okay to be what you can manage. But some people take a lot of guilt and a lot of overload stress on the food and the nourishment, and which take a tolls on their whole well-being. So what is your say on that?
It's important to relax from time to time. It's important to indulge also. Indulgences actually always should be in moderation. If you indulge in moderation, then there is no guilt associated with it because you've indulged in moderation. It's when we like certain things and we overindulge that causes a lot of guilt. So I think women overall should understand that it's very important to be at the table. It's very important to eat with everyone. It's because that is a holistic family time.
Yeah.
It's a family time where everyone is enjoying the festivities. Everyone is being a part of the festivities. I think sometimes it's also important to be a part of the festivities, being at the table and then making the right choice. I think if you ask me, I also make the right choices during the festivities. I'm a part of all the festivities, but I eat smart. I try to eat mindfully and I don't attach any guilt to it. If I've eaten a piece of chocolate, I've eaten a piece of chocolate with happiness. But as I said, if you indulge in moderation, I think you can manage the emotional part, but overindulging never helps. So I think overindulging is something that causes the guilt.
Right.
And of course, it's important to understand that if you do indulge, just go out and work out. I mean, you can just,
You can balance
you
the
can
whole-
balance
you
it.
can balance it, right? That's I think that's every woman should learn about it, about what exactly the indulgence, how you can treat yourself after the all the hard works you have done. This is the festivity, this is the time of the year where you can also do give what you wanted to yourself, and that's completely okay, and that is completely fine with it. There are many trends, things are going into here and there. You keep on hearing now when you see social media has come up with a lot of trending things. There are a lot of myths or there are a lot of advices there in the market, right? People are giving, do this, do that, do this. What are the things which you really want today our listeners should unlearn from their own approach of life?
I think one of the biggest myth, or I would say nutrition myth, that a lot of women have is that eating less will help you lose weight. I think this is the single most nutrition myth which should be unlearned, because eating less helps to slow down your metabolic rate. In fact, this is the habit which can cause weight gain over a period of time, because as we age, the metabolic rate slows down. And if you eat less, the metabolic rate slows down even more. So I think it's never about eating less. It's about eating right. It's about nourishing your body with what it needs from time to time. Because as you age, depending on the kind of workout you do, depending on the kind of medical conditions you have, depending on what age group you fall in, your nutrition requirements would be different. So I think it's very important to eat right, in the right quantities at the right time and the right quality of food, but never about eating less. So I think that's one nutrition myth that I want people to just unlearn. Eating less does not help with weight management. In fact, it messes up your metabolic rate even more.
That's a one of the take back for I think everyone, because people think, oh, last meal I had such a big meal, let's cut down this meal with to something very squish out, right? But that is not what gonna help them out. You have to reset back. So the balanced diet is like what you have given us, we should be taking care of. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So, I really wanted to have an advice from you. I wanted to give it out to all the women listeners who are listening about this particular Her Voice, that what is the equation about the quick result versus the sustainable change? What is your point of view on that?
So quick results will force you to do something that's not necessarily healthy, because you want a faster result, you want a quicker result. Quick results also sometimes lead to fatigue, cramping, cravings for certain foods, because you've restricted yourself from a lot of things, because you want the result faster. And it's never healthy to have a quick result versus a sustainable result. I'm always a firm believer of sustainable changes, because they are long term. So long-term results or sustainable results or changes are important to change your lifestyle. They are important to keep you healthy, happy. There are some changes which you can follow for the rest of your life. And obviously, I'm a big promoter, or I advocate sustainable changes versus quick results. It also helps to build your metabolic rate, to build your immunity. It also helps to give you better muscle strength if you're talking about strength. So always try to strike a balance between a good balanced diet versus a good lifestyle. And that is important for a long-term healthy body.
Now I understand what the health designer is all about, like how you plan the whole, design the whole plan meal for the people, keeping in consideration about their lifestyle, about what the past habits they have and what the sustainable future look like for them to you. And there is so many things which we have learned today over what we have understand. And I think everyone who's going to be here about this particular thing, they'll take a lot of take back that, oh yes, this was the change which I really needed to adapt. But oh, I was not hearing it somewhere. So this is a chance and this is a time for them to hear it and do the changes in their own life. I'm so glad, Sohini, we have you here and understand about so much about the health, about the nutrition, about the lifestyle, about the mindful eating, about the all the things which you have just mentioned, and which is really, really needed with the women who are being a backbone of the whole family. They need to have become a wholesome. You are a part of the wholesome structure, so you need to take care of everything which is a part, even though it's a sleep, even though it's a that the iron, the protein you mentioned, the exercise, even the part where I feel the hydration. This is saying the new glow. There are many things I think women's are needed to put to have a balanced life, and the mindfulness is really needed to cultivate that. I'm very thankful for you being here at our Her Voice.
Thank you, Pallavi, for having me here for Her Voice. And it has been a pleasure talking with you. It's an honor to be here.